the most dangerous jobs in every country. Every year, millions of people go to work knowing there's a real chance they won't come home. Not soldiers, not police officers, just the workers who cut down trees, climb into sewers, or tear apart retired ships with their bare hands so the rest of the world can keep functioning. Here's what the most dangerous job actually looks like, country by country. United States, the logger. In the United States, the most dangerous job by the numbers isn't a job most people would guess. It's logging. Federal injury data consistently puts the fatality rate for loggers above 100 deaths per 100,000 workers in an average year, more than 30 times the national average across every other job combined. Most die the same way. A tree falls the wrong direction, a log rolls off a truck, or heavy machinery fails on steep, remote terrain where the nearest hospital can be an hour or more away by road. Commercial fishing runs a close second, with fatality rates regularly topping 50 per 100,000 workers. Crews haul gear through freezing water, often hundreds of miles from shore, where a single rogue wave, an iced-over deck, or one piece of failed equipment is enough to end a trip for good. Drowning remains the leading cause of death in the industry, year after year. Together, logging and fishing kill more American workers per capita than almost any other occupation in the country. And the people doing them are typically paid a fraction of what the risk would suggest they're owed. Bangladesh, the shipbreaker. On the tidal beaches outside Chittagong, Bangladesh, retired cargo ships from around the world are deliberately run aground at high tide and torn apart by hand. It's called shipbreaking, and it supplies a huge share of the country's steel. An estimated 20,000 workers, some still in their teens, climb into half-cut hulls filled with asbestos dust, leftover fuel, and trapped toxic gas, armed with little more than a blowtorch and a rope ladder. In August 2019, a heavy steel cable tore loose from the container ship CSL Virginia and crashed down onto a crowd of workers below. 55 men were caught underneath it. 40 managed to escape. 13 were injured. Two of them, 50-year-old Aminul Islam and 25-year-old Tushar Chakma, didn't survive their injuries. It wasn't an isolated case, and it wasn't the only one that year. Just weeks earlier, 3 workers had died inhaling toxic gas at a nearby yard. Rights groups estimate close to 20 workers die across Chittagong's shipbreaking yards every single year, from falls, explosions, and gas leaks trapped inside the hulls. And many believe the real number is higher, since some deaths are never formally reported at all. India, the sewer worker. In India, one of the deadliest jobs has no official safety gear, no required training, and technically isn't supposed to exist anymore. Manual scavenging. Sending a person down into a sewer or septic tank by hand to clear a blockage was banned by national law in 2013 and again by the Supreme Court in early 2025. It still happens almost every week in nearly every major city. In May 2025, 3 sanitation workers in Tamil Nadu, Saravanan, Venugopal, and Hari Krishnan, climbed into a dying factory sewage tank to clear a blockage. Toxic gas filled the tank within minutes. None of them made it back out. Days later, 3 more workers died, the exact same way clearing a drain in Kolkata. The pattern repeats with grim regularity across the country. One worker collapses from the fumes, a coworker climbs down to pull him out, and the gas takes him too. The Indian government's own figures, given in Parliament, count more than 620 sanitation workers killed cleaning sewers and septic tanks since 2017 alone. Almost all of them came from Dalit and other historically marginalized communities, funneled into the most hazardous, least protected work in the country, largely because almost no one else will do it. Democratic Republic of Congo, the miner. The Democratic Republic of Congo produces more cobalt than the rest of the world combined, the mineral packed into nearly every phone, laptop, and electric car battery on the planet. Much of it is dug out by hand by an estimated 1.5 to 2 million informal miners working without contracts, equipment, or any meaningful oversight. In November 2020, 5,000 of unauthorized miners forced their way into the Kalando mine in Lualaba province, defying a ban put in place over landslide risk from heavy rain. Soldiers guarding the site reportedly opened fire to push the crowd back. In the panic, the miners rushed a makeshift wooden bridge, spanning a flooded pit. It gave way under their weight, sending dozens of people falling on top of each other into the water below. At least 32 bodies were recovered in the days that followed. Some were never found at all. It wasn't the first disaster like it, and it likely won't be the last. A nearly identical collapse at a Glencore-operated copper and cobalt mine in the same province killed 43 miners back in 2019. The cobalt that survives the journey out of these pits ends up, within months, inside the device you might be holding right now. Around the world, the list keeps going well past these four. In the Philippines, fishermen still dive for hours at a time, breathing through nothing but a garden hose air compressor instead of proper scuba gear, a cheap method called compressor diving that kills divers from decompression sickness every single year. In parts of Mexico, lime and avocado farmers working in cartel-controlled territory have been kidnapped, beaten, or killed for refusing to pay extortion fees on their own harvest. And in Russia's far eastern forests, loggers face some of the highest fatality rates on Earth, working in terrain so remote that a serious injury can mean a multi-day wait for help that may never arrive in time. Every one of these jobs exists for the same simple reason: somewhere, someone needs the product badly enough not to ask how it got made. The steel in a building, the phone in your pocket, the food on a dinner table. Behind almost everything we use without a second thought, there's a country, a job, and a worker who had no idea today would be the day.